Okay, we are shifting our focus to news that's breaking first on Times Now. The Enforcement Directorate has attached gifts and properties worth 7 crores from actress Jaqueline Fernandes. Bhavtosh Singh, our senior news editor, now joining us with the details. Bhavtosh, the agency is treating this as proceeds of crime.
Yes, Pranesh. In fact, we had broken this story how Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, the conman, had managed to extort around 200 crore rupees from an industrious wife, and then subsequently splurged that money on Bollywood actors, including Jaqueline Fernandes and Nora Fatehi. Both these actresses, as well as others, were questioned at length by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, Jaqueline Fernandes was given several gifts, and she, in fact, admitted when her statement was recorded by Enforcement Directorate. These gifts are up to 8.5 crore rupees. ED had tabulated the value of these gifts. These gifts include very expensive clothing items, as well as some luxury cars, and also other properties which were both in India as well as abroad. Her siblings were also given loans by Hawala dealers. A woman called Pinky Irani was also arrested. She was the one who introduced Jaqueline Fernandes to Sukhesh Chandrashekhar. Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, on his part, had said that he was virtually in a relationship with Jaqueline Fernandes. Jaqueline Fernandes, in fact, denied this. She claimed that she was duped by Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, but ED's investigation revealed that this was purely a case of money laundering in which Sukhesh Chandrashekhar had in fact given gifts which were nothing but proceeds of crime. Now, when Jaqueline's statement was recorded, when she was confronted both with Pinky Irani as well as with Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, ED managed to find out that these gifts which were given to Jaqueline Fernandes, these were proceeds of crime. In fact, he even managed to hire a private jet or an aircraft which was used by him and also by Jaqueline Fernandes to travel between Mumbai and Chennai, and also between Delhi and Mumbai, and also between Mumbai and Chennai. All these things have been tabulated. Her gifts, which she got from Jaqueline Fernandes, were in fact tabulated, and all these items, we have not got details. These items have in fact been seized. These items include luxury gifts as well as some properties. We would soon be breaking the details of all these gifts to our viewers, but big news coming from Enforcement Directorate that Bollywood actors' gifts as well as properties worth over 7 crore rupees have now been attached. The provisional attachment, obviously this matter will go to the educating authority, and once educating authority gives a go ahead, then virtually this means seizure, and these properties could be later attached by the Enforcement Directorate. Back to you.
Now, does this mean in clear terms that the trouble mounts for Jaqueline Fernandes in this case, Bhavtosh?
Well, obviously, right from last year when she was first called in for questioning, she has been questioned at least on 3 or 4 occasions. She has also admitted that she was in some kind of relationship with Sukhesh Chandrashekhar. There is a lookout circular against her. And that means that she can't go abroad. She was in fact once briefly detained at Mumbai's international airport. Her name is not mentioned in the list of prosecution witness, and that means that she is a person of interest for Enforcement Directorate. Now, ED has filed 2 prosecution complaints, one main case as well as a supplementary charge sheet, and that spells trouble for her. ED somewhere suspect that she is a part of a money laundering racket in this entire case. She has not been given clean chit. Now, as far as this case is concerned, Nora Fatehi, the other Bollywood actor, is a prosecution witness. Other actresses, whether these are TV actors or models who were in fact had met Sukhesh Chandrashekhar in Tihar jail, they have all been made witnesses in this case. It's only Jaqueline Fernandes who continues to be under investigation, and it is only her properties and gifts that have been attached. Now, the Enforcement Directorate had got a list of gifts that was given to her, including Hermes bag as well as Louis Vuitton perfumes as well as bags. That was virtually very expensive gifts. We had also aired these stories even earlier. These gifts were bags worth at least 45 lakh rupees, shoes as well as other items, and these are very expensive gifts, including cars which were worth at least 45 to 50 lakh rupees. And this has been attached. Now, this also means that Enforcement Directorate somewhere suspect that she was part of money laundering. She has not been arrested, but number of times she has been called here in Delhi and her statement has been recorded, including confrontation with Sukhesh Chandrashekhar as well as with Pinky Irani, who is considered to be a very close aide of Sukhesh Chandrashekhar.
The ED also, and we have the details of that charge sheet that you had broken on Times Now, Bhavtosh, also says that, and suspects is the right word, that funds were not only transferred to Jaqueline but also to her family members.
Yes, Pranesh, in fact, that story, you had in fact given details of all those people who had received gifts. These gifts include a transfer of at least $150,000 to her sister, Geraldine, who stays in US, if I'm not mistaken, to her brother who stays in Australia, around 15 lakh rupees, to her parents who received a car Lamborghini in Bahrain. So through Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, to his intricate network of Hawala operators, was not only giving money, that is in dollars as well as in Australian dollars, but also was splurging expensive gifts, including cars as well as clothing items and shoes to Jaqueline Fernandes, but also giving very expensive gifts as well as giving money to Jaqueline Fernandes. Now, the attachment clearly shows that somewhere ED now suspects that she was part of extortion racket. Now, so far it was suspected that she was in a relationship with Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, that she was duped by Sukhesh Chandrashekhar, but all this development that has now taken place, the very fact that an attachment of gifts as well as her properties has now happened, clearly means that ED now suspects that she was part of a money laundering operation. She has been questioned a number of times. She has been confronted with Sukhesh Chandrashekhar at ED's office. She has been confronted with Pinky Irani, a very close aide of Sukhesh Chandrashekhar.
Right, Bhavtosh, just hold your thoughts. Let's get a legal view on this. Swapnil Kothari needs no introduction now. Joining us, Mr. Kothari, good afternoon. Thank you for speaking to us. What do you make of this news coming in, ED attaching Jaqueline Fernandes' properties, assets worth 7 crores, we are being told?
Pranesh, it's not news to me at all, because I knew that this was going to happen someday or the other. The investigations were on. These people would have been called in for questioning. There are questionable transactions. There is black money involved. There is money laundering involved. You have your properties which are disproportionate to your income, which are there in your name, and even if they are not in your name, then still the Benami Transactions Act would apply. So looking at PMLA, Benami transactions, if at all it is Benami, but if it's in her name, then it's straight PMLA right there and then itself. And the ED is not going to take bat an eyelid to go ahead and seize those properties, because that's what they're empowered with. And if there are going to be very, very strong questions, and if the answers are not going to be satisfactory, then arrests of the people who are in question is not too far either. Because the ECIR, which is the Enforcement Commission Information Report, like
right,
the FIR that we have under the IPC, is must be pretty exhaustive. So I'd be very interested in seeing what they've done, what they've written, because I'm sure the surrounding circumstances of that transaction are extremely questionable. And looking at, they're always obviously going to look at the fact that the success of the actress in films, and then they're going to see that what the kind of gifts and,
Swapnil Kothari, it's important that you say that this is only the beginning of the crackdown, that you're not even ruling out arrest in the case.
Well, absolutely. I'm not ruling it out at all. Why? Because it's the next step. If you're not going to be able to answer questions and, you're not answering it and you're cooperating with the investigation, then the next thing is they will have in mind is that, well, let's have a custodial relationship of yours. And as for they are fully empowered with you in custody, then you sing like a canary. It's as simple as that. And nothing stops them from arresting people. And not only her.
All right, Swapnil Kothari, thank you for speaking to Times Now. Thank you for putting that in context for our viewers. And Bhavtosh, I want to ask you what Sukhesh Chandrashekhar had said about Jaqueline Fernandes. He had virtually denied any role of hers in money laundering and said that, listen, these were gifts that were given out of love.
Well, it's very interesting what he had said later when he was in fact questioned at length by Enforcement Directorate. He in fact said that he was doing a liaison work And he always said that he was a professional person. He denied that he ever extorted money from the industrious wife, but subsequently he had in fact written several letters and released this letter through a lawyer. And he always said that he was in a relationship with Jaqueline Fernandes, and he said that he was giving gifts to her, and these gifts should not be attached. Now, long time back, he had said that ED was in process of attaching these gifts. Now, even Jaqueline Fernandes earlier this year had said that people should respect her privacy, and the photographs that we're doing around on social media should not become viral. She, on her part, has also always said that she was also conned, but Enforcement Directorate, the agency that has been probing this case, while you speak to these officers, they always claim that there is something fishy in this case, and that